What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raise. You can just imagine how hard it was for us to narrow down the best moments from the Vampire Diaries to only 10. But thanks to the fans of the show, we were able to see which moments of the Vampire Diaries were most paused. So enjoy this sample of fans' favorite moments of the show and just a piece of fair advice. Keep a box of tissues next to you since you're about to go through some of the most painful scenes in the best vampire show that ever existed. Number 10. Elena stabs herself. Elena Gilbert has been through everything, literally. At the beginning of the show, she deals with the grief after losing both of her parents. On top of that, she finds out about all these vampires. She falls in love with both of the Salvatore brothers throughout the show. She later finds out she has an evil doppelganger whose plotting are regularly represented as a contrast for Elena's basic courtesy. But despite everything, Elena is a completely understood character. Now, we all remember when Stefan and Damon tried to take her out of the whole Elijah situation, and while they took out Elijah, their plan went wrong. Elena stabs herself in the stomach, making it clear that she'll do the action herself. Then she explains to Damon and Stefan that they'll have to do things her way. Number 9. Damon's feelings for Elena. This episode represents the whole drama of the series. Now let's do a little recap. Damon brings Elena her necklace, but before he gives it to her, he confesses that he loves her. This was one of the show's most paused moments since fans needed a brief second to make sure that this happened. He realizes how self-centered it is going to sound, but he goes ahead anyway. I love you, Elena, and it's because I love you that I can't be selfish with you. And what you can't know this. I don't deserve you, but my brother does. He kisses her on the forehead. God, I wish you didn't have to forget this, but you do. And as he compels her to forget, you can see a tear on Damon's face. So heartbreaking. This is such a beautiful moment, and we were all happy to see this side of Damon. Would you guys place this moment in the top 10 best moments of the show? Let us know.
I love you, Elena. It's because I love you that...
Number 8. Damon talking to ALARIC. With the name Memorial, this episode warned us about the sad moments we're going to see. In this episode, we saw Elena adapt to her life as a vampire. It was also amazing to see how strong she is as she proved to both Stefan and Damon that she can handle almost everything herself. There were so many heartbreaking moments in this episode, but our favorite one comes to the very end of the episode. ALARIC sitting near Damon and listening to him made everyone feel comfortable in some way. Damon didn't send Japanese lanterns up into the sky in memory of everyone they had lost. Instead, he dealt with his grief in his own way. He drank and spoke to his friend, imagining he was there. The best thing is, he was. When the camera moved and everyone saw him, we believe every person watching the show started crying. The most touching part came from when ALARIC actually spoke and said, "I miss you too, buddy."
I miss you too, buddy.
Number 7. When KLAUS killed JENNA. KLAUS killed JENNA to break the curse, and this was one of the first shocking moments that happened in the Vampire Diaries since it occurred at the beginning of the show. This was way before we knew what the Vampire Diaries would do with its characters. We had no idea about some of them coming back after their death. However, when Aunt Jenna died, we were all shocked because of poor Elena and her brother. They weren't so strong in those episodes of the show, so we kind of get why this would be so important. Number 6. Stefan's love for Damon. Referred to as the most selfless character in the Vampire Diaries, Stefan Salvatore did many things to prove this. We all remember when the show first began. Damon and Stefan weren't really showing much affection for each other. This all started when Damon wanted to hurt Stefan after the younger Salvatore persuaded him to become a vampire. Their affection for each other got to zero when Damon killed Stefan's best friend and then admitted his feelings for Elena. But Stefan proved how unselfish he is when he gave up on his life in Mystic Falls to secure Damon's survival. For curing the werewolf's bite that would kill Damon, KLAUS commands Stefan to become his right-hand man and leave his beloved. And we all know how much Stefan loved Elena, but this showed how much he loved his brother too. Number 5. Caroline's transformation. Throughout the Vampire Diaries, we've seen all characters go through some kind of transformation, but not one has made as impressive a transformation as Caroline Forbes, Candace King. Throughout the show, Caroline went from a simple, mean girl preoccupied with being in the center of attention all the time to an iconic vampire doll who is ready to face everything in the supernatural world. While Nina Dobrev's Elena Gilbert is the main character in the show, Caroline somehow holds everything and everyone together. And according to a lot of fans, she was the best thing that happened in TVD. Here's a piece of evidence. When Catherine Pierce killed her in the first season finale with Damon's vampire blood in her system and turned her into a vampire, she practically changed. We weren't expecting to see her in that light, but we truly enjoyed it. Number 4. Stefan becomes human. The Vampire Diaries showed the characters with improved abilities from drinking blood to immortality. It also had some expansions in the plot, such as the skills to manipulate dreams, compel humans, kill off their humanity, and switch off their emotions. Throughout TVD's 8 seasons, several vampires turned off their humanity because they needed an easier way to deal with their emotions and the actions they had to do. And when it comes to Stefan, well, we didn't see that one coming. But we should have expected it since the Vampire Diaries always knew how to pull off a great twist. When Bonnie stabbed Stefan, Paul Wesley, with the cure she bloodjacked out of Elena, it made Stefan a human. And this goes into one of the most paused moments in the Vampire Diaries, because, well, it's quite shocking. Now, let's talk about Elena's transformation throughout the show. We all know she was the central character of the Vampire Diaries throughout its run. What made her amazing was a character with good and bad sides to her. And we kind of loved both of her sides. Even when she was in her bad days, sometimes she would overreact and do some things that weren't that acceptable. However, it's not like we weren't expecting her to become a vampire. We all saw that one coming. What fans loved was when she and Matt, Zach Rohrig, drove off Wickery Bridge to a watery grave in the Season 3 finale. With her transformation, her character became stronger, and we absolutely loved how she grew over her really soft side and moved to the now you listen to me side.
This is me.
No. This is Cade. He made you do all this.
Number 3. Damon and Elena's epic motel kiss. The music, the passion, Elena's face. Here's our favorite moment in the entire show. This Delena moment is probably the hottest kiss that happened between two actors ever. And when you know that they actually dated during that time, everything becomes more and more enjoyable. We perfectly understand why fans needed to pause this particular kiss. Oh, the intensity. Maybe they didn't actually become a couple until season 4, but this still stays a moment Delena fans enjoyed the most. Ship-worthy couples of the Vampire Diaries. Elena eventually chooses Damon, and the two meet in the series finale to live their happily ever after. Number 2. How to be Elena. Catherine is evil, pure evil, and the storyline where she gets into Elena's body and impersonates her is certainly one of the most twisted storylines in the entire show. Catherine attempts to have the same attitude as Elena, but because of her real character, she gets annoyed with being the good girl. And one of the best scenes with this storyline is the scene in which she compels Matt to reveal Elena facts, such as her birthday and whether she likes Caroline or Bonnie better. Please say Caroline, she says. Despite being the way she is, we got to admit that we actually liked her character at one point during the show.
Guess who?
I wonder. Elena Gilbert?
Yep.
Number 1. Damon and Rose. One of the scenes where Damon shows his selfless side is when his friend Rose gets bitten by a werewolf. He does everything to find the cure, but he ends up nursing her and then makes it easier for her to go to the other side by doing the vampire mind control trick. Something we often see when a character is dying on the show. He makes her think she's on the farm where she spent her childhood. This made us all see that the good Damon existed, and for the first time, this wasn't about his brother or Elena. It was truly a magical moment.
Will I see them again? My family.
I think you will see whoever you want to see.
We end our video here, guys. Which of these moments is your favorite? Maybe you have some really great moment that we forgot to mention? Let us know in the comment section below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing videos such as this. Thanks for watching.